We do. About that. It was just a foolhardy thing to do. You come into a community, Largo High School, as I told him and the county executive, who was my student at Howard, so I like right, that you separate the school and you create a school for Latino students and a school for the existing indigenous pupils. Two principles, two accountability structures, inadvisable. Undervaluing black life, undervaluing our community. That concept I'm using, undervalued. Would never have been done in Montgomery County. Wouldn't have been done in Arlington, Alexander, anywhere else. Only in Prince George's County. So I would tell the Largo communities, I told the black Largo community, right, is that what I wanted the school to be, and this is what it should be now. This was my argument right at the county exec's table. And it's before the superintendent. It should be a school of international affairs. Largo High School should have been turned into a school of international affairs. So if you go to Largo High School, the Mighty Lions, right, you will see students from everywhere. From Sierra Leone, from Ethiopia, from wherever, right? And that's as opposed to creating a separate concept, you make the school the international school and give those students international travel experiences, language experiences, whatever. So hopefully that community, but that community shows you how we undervalue ourselves, was not strong enough, parents, to protect its own interests. Right? And that's the bottom line story. So I was very proactive on that, and I still think that's the way that should proceed. Otherwise, what we're going to have is you will have northern part of the county, which is significantly Latino, being separated from the base black community, and you're going to have the same kind of fights. They're going to organize around their interests, and we're going to organize around our interests, and it's going to be like in and out of Beltway in my day. And it's not pretty.
International Academy, and they were very segregated too. They were on a whole different floor. But my school, so they could integrate them, they decided that it would be a good idea to like have classes.
Gave it to the superintendent. It is an academy within the school. Now, there's only one reason why, I think, as I've said to people, there's only one reason why that was not done, and this is the mistake we make. See, if you allow an ethnic group, like the old segregationist whites of this county did in the old days, to define their interests as being separate from the new people's interests, you got a problem. And so what, as I said to the Casa community, right, the Latino community, let us not institutionalize our separateness. It won't work in this county, right? Because politically it's going to manifest itself with divisiveness. They're going to organize around their interests, and we're going to organize around ours, and the few whites that are remaining are going to organize it around theirs. And you got a problem. So what we should do in that particular state is replicate the T.C. Williams model in Alexandria. It is one of the top schools in the nation. And they have what? An LEA, Limited English Proficiency Program, in their school. And that's what we should have had at Largo. It was the disrespect for the community in Largo. I said it to the county executive. I said it to the superintendent. And it still should not be.
First language is Spanish. I speak Spanish better than English because they forced me to the diaspora of the immigrant coming to and they teach me Spanish and all those things. And this is a good topic because they see me and they when they hear my accent they think I'm from Africa. So I speak Spanish. Sometimes I can say that I speak Spanish better than them because I was went to college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Graduate and all those things in Panama. But this is a dangerous topic that she brings because my neighbor where I live, I see they coming and they don't socialize too much. They have their own agenda, and this is very worry because even that I am part of their culture, I see the separation and the dissemination of them that can affect us in the long way. And first of all, in my thing, I study the diaspora and everything. So first of all, I'm black and I care for my people. But I care for them too because they are human beings. We have to see how we. And she said something nice. We have to see how we can integrate it to be able to. If they come in more to PG County, they want to bring cows too. Because some of them, in reality, they don't have no much Bible skills that means that, hey, we don't care with you, we don't care, you stay in your are very discriminated by the Latino, such Latino that is descendant from Spain's people and all those things. So we have to be very careful to see how we can target. And I tell Dr. Bryson that if I have to be an interpreter and a speaker to try to make them understand that we have descendants from Africa, we speak all the language of the world, so they have to be afraid that we are intelligent people and we want to make peace and work in the behalf of the community. Thank you.
And I lived in Panama for 2 years. We'll talk before you leave, okay?
Definitely.
Okay, make sure you join now. Okay.
Having been a product of the military, I think I was about 7, and we lived in Del Rio, Texas. I went to school, and the first part of the class was in Spanish until the military mothers marched in there and said, this will not happen, because she did segregate us. The military kids were over here, the Spanish kids were over here. We didn't understand a word they were saying. And so you lost out on any kind of learning that you would have gotten. So when you started describing, and the young lady emphasized what was really going on at Largo, flashback to 1971, I lost a lot of time in learning until the parents got together, came and said, this is unacceptable. The school was technically not in Mexico. It was still in Texas. However, mass population was Hispanic. They got preferential treatment over us.
Well, you have to Google it. Google it.
That's what I was doing when we were
Right.
talking.
Google it, right. Because it separated funding into 4 major categories. And one of them, I wanted to make sure that one of them was the language category. Because what happens is that in the state of Maryland and in our nation, we put people whose language is not, English is not their first language in Maryland, we concentrate them in certain communities. That's for all kinds of reasons, right? Now, Prince George's County has a disproportionate share. Now, that's intentional. So if you don't have a funding formula that serves those kids, that county gets what? A major burden. So under the Thornton formula, one of those functional lines was money goes to the county where a disproportionate share of those children are. Otherwise, it's difficult to educate them. If you go to Bladensburg, Bladensburg is majority what? Bladensburg High School? This high school that Congressman Wynn graduated from is majority what? Hispanic. And it's spreading. So, and those kids have, just like we had, those kids have all of the needs that we had in the 1960s. That's why that funding formula was so important. Now, if they don't understand that, and if we don't understand, and so if we end up like we were last year, just think about what we were facing last year. We were a community on the front pages of the Washington Post fighting about how we were going to fund the education of our children. That's what we go back, you can Google that. Prince Georgians fight about fight. No matter what side you're on, right?
Right. He's still home at 68 years.
Okay. So all I'm saying is we need forums where we can bring the communities together, we can decide what's happening to all of us, and then we can come up with some solutions. That's why I like Dr. Dula knows, that serves the interest of everybody. I'm sorry, I don't want to take over.
Oh, that's okay. One more question.
And my question is, and I thank you so much for sharing about education. My son is a product of Largo High School, and he got a full academic ride to University of Maine studying molecular biology and marine science. So our public school system work when our parents and our teachers work together. And for those who do know me, Ms. Proctor has a voice, and she speaks loudly and carries a big stick. So, and the next question I have to ask you, though, is I hear so much about education, and I appreciate that, but I am an advocate, has been for as long as I've been in this community, for my seniors. I am truly believe that we have lost, because I'm from the South Carolina, and my grandparents were such an intricate piece in the education of my life, that if we don't protect, not just protect, but also allow those people who have served, whether military or non-military, who are the least of these that are struggling under the Medicare Part D, who are struggling under Obamacare, who are struggling in their homes, who are struggling with their food. So if from a congressional standpoint, how are you going to work with our state leaders and our county leaders, who are the ones who really have the impact on our seniors, but they need that funding to come from Congress to really work in that grouping. So I heard so much about you with education. There's another population out here, and it's called my seniors.
And that's a very important question. One of the things that people do is because of the Thornton Commission, they make me a single issue candidate. I'm not a single issue candidate. And I'll tell you why I say that. The first thing, being a Southern person, I don't separate seniors from family. So what happens to families? For example, many of the young people are moving back in on the seniors. So if I don't take care of them, if I take care of them, I'm helping my seniors. If I have safe communities and I don't have kids dropping out of school and causing out of corruption in the community, I'm helping my seniors. So I start by saying that the community in which the senior live must be protected. I must have good quality homes with equity in the homes, children in schools, and my seniors will be better. I'm a universal health care person. I believe in universal health care. I think everybody should be able to have a card in the back pocket, and they get equal education in no matter where they live, what state, or whatever. I'm a universal health care. I would take the Affordable Care Act even further. I believe that one of the most serious issues affecting seniors, when I go to SunTrust, where I have my bank account, I used to be a citizen, and I put my little money in there, and I'm a senior myself, and they give me no money, 0.000 interest. That's what hurt my seniors. So when I talked about my seniors, that's the first place I'm going to protect them, because if their little money